Hi everyone. So we have here our lesson 3. We have the parabola. But before I start with my lecture, we have here the objectives for this lesson. So at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to define a parabola, determine the standard form of equation of a parabola, and graph a parabola in a rectangular coordinate system. So okay, let's start with the definition of a parabola. So a parabola is a locus of points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed line called the directrix and a fixed point called the focus. So we have here an example. Kanang block curve class, kanang murag suwang, kanang block curve, that is what we call the parabola. Okay, we have here the green point, kanang naa sa opening sa parabola. This is the fixed point which is called the focus. And we also have here kaning line kanang blue na nga broken line. That will be the fixed line, which is the directrix. Now, it is said in the definition that a parabola is a locus of points. Again, locus is a set of points. Okay, set of points in a plane that are equidistant. So meaning, ang kanang points nga nag-form sa atoang parabola, kanang curve nato nga parabola, tanang points dira equidistant sila from the focus and the directrix. So, for example, okay, naatay point dire. Di siya malingin class no, lisod kay lingin, sige lang. Okay, naatay point dire. Say for example, assuming nga nalingin na kay point daw na siya. Okay, unsay pasabot ana class? For example, natay point dire. Karon ang distance from this point to our focus. Oops. Wait. Okay. Again, the distance from this point to our focus, say for example, ibutang nato, this is distance C. Okay. And distance from this point to the directrix, this is also C. Okay. So, kani nga point, ang distance niya from the focus and distance niya from the directrix, equal na sila. Okay? So, unsay value dire? Okay, unsay value sa distance ni kani nga point sa directrix is equal lang sa distance sa kini nga point to the focus. So, say for example, ang distance, example lang. Okay, ang distance daw sa kaninga point padulong sa directrix is equals to 3. Example lang ha, example lang. So, ang distance ani nga point padulong sa directrix is 3. Okay. Ang distance pud niya kaninga point to the focus is also 3. So, again, equidistant sila. Say for example, another point. Say for example, kani. Okay, nakunuhay dere. Kanang blue. Okay, point kunuhay na siya. Okay. So, kung tan-aw na pud nato, ang distance niya, okay, gikan diri sa blue nga point, padulong kay focus, assuming nga straight line na siya class kay distance good no. And ang distance niya padulong kay directrix, okay, again assuming nga straight line na siya kay distance man. Okay, kanayang distance, okay, gikan diri nga point padulong sa focus, equal lang sad sa distance na kini nga point padulong pud sa directrix. So in short, tanang point dira nga nag-form sa curve nga parabola, ang distance nila from focus and distance nila from directrix is equal lang. Again, equidistant. So again, a parabola is a locus of points in a plane that are equidistant from a fixed line called directrix and a fixed point called the focus. So, mo to'y pasabot sa iyahang definition. Okay? Okay, next, we have here the elements of parabola. Okay, we have katong ganina, fixed line, we have the directrix. Okay, kani. Oops, di maklaro. Okay, highlight na lang. Okay. Kani, mo na itong directrix. Okay, we also have the focus, katong fixed point nato. Kani. And then we also have here the vertex, kani. And we also have the latus rectum, kaning orange nga line. Okay, and we also have the axis of symmetry, kaning broken line, kana, kung gi-highlight. Okay, so again, we have directrix, vertex, focus, latus rectum, and axis of symmetry. Okay, isa-isahon nato na sila. Okay. So, we have here first our vertex. Dili na ko i-appeal ang directrix and focus because nakuha naman siya kaganina. Nasulti naman nato siya, naila-ila na nato kaganina sila. Okay, again, directrix is the line opposite to the focus or line, the fixed line that is outside the opening of the parabola. Focus is always located at the opening of the parabola. So, it is the fixed point. Okay, so we have here vertex. So vertex is the midpoint between the focus and the directrix. So kanang red point dira mo na tong vertex. Ang distance niya, since it is a point no na naglay sa parabola, so ang distance niya vertex to focus and vertex to directrix equal lang na sila, because again any point on the parabola equidistant na siya sa focus and directrix. Ang nakalahi lang is si vertex is naa siya sa pinaka-apex, katong kanang si tawag na pinakatalinis sa ato ang parabola. So ang point sa pinakatalinis sa parabola, that is what we call the vertex. Okay, we also have here the axis of symmetry. Okay, axis of symmetry is the line passing through the focus and the vertex. So, kanang black, dira, i-highlight na to ha. Kaning black, okay, wait. Kaning, di naman mo highlight. Okay, highlight na to og color violet. Okay, kaning line, di maklaro ang violet class. Yellow na lang, eh. Okay, kaning line, kana, maklaro ba? Oh, ito ra, nahiwi. Okay, kana nga line, okay, this is what we called axis of symmetry. Okay, kung sa circle na atay diameter, which divides the circle into two equal parts, sa parabola naapod tay axis of symmetry. So it divides the parabola into two equal parts. It always passes through focus and vertex. Okay? So si axis of symmetry, since ang vertex nato is naa siya sa tawagan ni pinakatalinis, and si focus is naa siya sa tunga-tunga pod, no? Okay, so kung mapansin ninyo sa axis of symmetry, ang left side, diri nga side, left side and right side equal na sila. So axis of symmetry, it also divides the parabola into two equal parts. Okay? Next, we have the latus rectum. So, latus rectum is a line segment that passes through the focus parallel to its directrix and with its endpoints on the parabola. So, i-highlight nato, this is the latus rectum. Okay. Okay, latus rectum is always parallel to the directrix, and it passes through the focus. It also terminates itself on the parabola. So, ang endpoint anang latus rectum is at the parabola. So, yung ana og dagway ang latus rectum. Let's now have the standard equation of a parabola. So, actually, there are 8 standard equation of a parabola, pero wala na nako gi-appeal tong standard equation if ang vertex nato is naa sa origin, because kaning upat akong ihatag sa inyo. So kaning upat ka standard equation sa na akong ihatag is applicable man gud siya or are applicable if ang vertex nato is naa sa origin. So, pwede rin sila magamit. So, kanina ako ipanghatag sa inyo, ha. Okay, so the opening of the parabola depends on the standard, on its standard equation. So, again, we have 4 standard equation. So, the first standard equation, we have x minus h squared, that is equals to 4c times quantity of y minus k. The second equation, we have quantity of x minus h squared that is equals to negative 4c times quantity of y minus k. So if the x term is squared, the parabola opens up or down. So when does a parabola opens up or down? So again, if ang ato ang x term, we have x minus h, okay, x term or katong grupo sa atong x-related terms is squared. So we have x minus h squared. And then, kung mapansin ninyo sa duha ka equation, di ba same lang man sila, ang nakalahi lang sila ha, is that ang ato ang 4c, the symbol or the sign of our 4c, ang first na given, we have positive 4c. Ang second na given, we have negative 4c. Now, if, again, ang imuhang x term is naka-squared or katong group sa x-related terms is naka-group. So, we have x minus h squared and then positive ang imuhang 4c. Positive ang 4c, then your parabola will open up or upward. Okay. So, example kani nga graph. Okay. So, kung makita ninyo, ang ato ang parabola, it opens upward. Okay. Not necessarily na ang vertex is nasa origin. So, pwede nga imong vertex is any point diha sa rectangular coordinate system. So, pwede nga naa diri imong parabola magsugod. Okay. Pwede pod na siya diri. Or, biska nasa diha. Basta kay nalang sulod sa rectangular coordinate system. Okay. Kung nag-open upward gani na, the standard equation, dapat ingani yan dagway. We have quantity of x minus h squared that is equals to 4c times quantity of y minus k. Now, if ang imuha pong equation is ingani og dagway, kaning quantity of x minus h squared that is equals to ang sign sa imuhang 4c is negative. We have negative 4c times quantity of y minus k. Ang parabola, your parabola will open downwards. Okay? So, negative man ang atuang 4c. So, ang atuang parabola will open downwards. So, example ana is kani. Okay. So, pwede na adiha. Imagine na lang nga parabola na class kay lisod kay drawing. Okay. Diha. And pwede po diri sa origin. As long as your parabola opens downward, ang equation or standard equation ana, we have quantity of x minus h squared that is equals to negative 4c times quantity of y minus k. Okay. Sama nang ang h and k dira are the coordinates of your vertex. And then, si C na to dira, kaning C. Okay, again, H and K is the coordinate or are the coordinates of your vertex. And then, C is the distance from vertex to the focus and vertex to the directrix. Remember that the distance from vertex to focus and vertex to directrix are equal. So, vertex is equidistant to focus and directrix. So, kanang C, variable C, will be the distance, again, from vertex to focus or vertex to directrix. Okay, so, sa latus rectum, the length of our latus rectum, magamit natin siya later pag mag-graph ta, the length of our latus rectum is 4c. Now, in graphing, kung kailangan yun na to i-graph apil ang latus rectum, then we will use the distance or kaning 2c. Okay, because 2c, katunga sa 4c, meaning gitunga nato ang latus rectum, 2c is the distance from focus to one endpoint of the latus rectum. So, later makita ninyo na unsay gamitan ng 2c. Okay? Okay, next equation, we have quantity of y minus k squared that is equals to 4c times quantity of x minus h. The last one, we have quantity of y minus k squared that is equals to negative 4c times quantity of x minus h squared. Okay, if the y term is squared, the parabola opens left or right. Okay? So, it opens left or right. So, kanus apod na mag-open sa left, kanus apod sa right. Okay. Sa ato ang third equation, we have y minus k. So, again, ang naka-squared dere is the y-related terms or y term. So, ang y man ang naka-squared and then positive ato ang 4c. Kung ingani gani ang equation, our parabola opens to the right. Okay, so sa right siya mag-open. Okay, okay. Pag left pod, dapat ang equation niya, again, ang naka-squared is the y term. So we have y minus k squared. And then ang atuang 4c is negative. So if negative 4c, y minus k squared, then our parabola opens leftwards or padulong siya sa left mag-open. Okay, so again, pwede na siya dire biskan asa basta kay mag-open sa left. Same sa taas, pwede na siya dira. Okay, pwede dire. As long as it opens to the right, dapat ang equation niya is kanapod, kinipod. Oops, kanipod. Kanipod dapat ang iyahang equation. Okay?